About 40 years ago, I was staying all night with my grandpa and grandma Redden over in Verona, Kentucky, and that's northern Kentucky, that's Gallatin County. If you go down 75, you take 71, you come to the Walton-Verona exit. I can't remember the road you take, but it's about 7 miles from there. They live on a dead-end road. They still do. About 4 or 5 houses. I was actually staying all night at my cousin's, my aunt's, was just a rock's throw from my grandpa's house. And one of my most memorable times was, I was about 12 years old, so 1975. I just woke up for some reason. And it wouldn't my grandpa starting up his tractor. I just happened to wake up. And just a few minutes after that, my grandpa started his tractor. And it wasn't a loud tractor. It was soft, as soft. He had a muffler on it. It was real quiet. But anyway, I heard him crank it up. So I decided to go into the living room and see what time it was on the old grandfather clock. 3 a.m., 3 in the morning. So I stood at the window watching and it was pitch black, but I could see his headlight going up the garden. His garden was up on a hill, and knowing my grandma was with him, see, they always went to bed about 6 o'clock. That's just the way they was. They always went to bed. When I was a kid, it's 6 o'clock. Matter of fact, we'd be over there after that time, and he would yell if the door was open. He'd yell for somebody to close it. They always went to bed at 6 o'clock sharp. Anyway, I can still see, and it's been 40 years. It's been 40 years ago, but I still can see those headlights on that tractor, knowing he had an act. And I would watch that tractor as it got up top of the hill, at the top of his garden. My grandpa Redden could grow the largest potatoes on this earth. They were so large, you could take a large skillet and slice one of his potatoes up, it would fill half the skillet. Matter of fact, his potatoes were so large, you had to actually cut them in half because one potato was too large for your hands. Yeah, you had to cut the potatoes in half. I don't know where he learned that or he mastered it. Anybody can put a potato on the ground and cover it with a little dirt. He mastered something. He learned something over the years on how to grow those huge potatoes. And I think the reason why he did it at 3 in the morning, checked with his garden, is he didn't want that secret out. He was wanting to be the king of potatoes. The only one that knew it would have been him and my grandma, because nobody else was up at that time. But it's one of my fond memories. And I can still see the headlights of that tractor slowly going up the hill. They always, that was sort of a joyful dream, a precious memory. I think what triggered that in my brain yesterday, I discovered that even though this Kodak PlaySport has a cracked LCD screen, and I can't see nothing on it except a little blue line, the joy of knowing I didn't hurt. Overall, I didn't hurt my Kodak PlaySport because I love his camcorder. I think the joy yesterday of finding out it works like it's working now, I think that yesterday helped trigger that dream. I really do, because it is sort of a joyful dream. And I watched him. I watched him for about 3.5. I watched my grandpa and my grandma because I knew they was together. It was so dark. The only thing you could see now was the headlights of the tractor. And he's the only one in our family that had a tractor, so I knew it was him, especially at 3 in the morning. But I watched him for about 3.5, 4 minutes until they got to the top of that garden. And in my dream, like I said, it really happened. But as I was dreaming it, I went back in real life. I went back to bed. Back then, I went back to bed, and as I went back to bed, I woke up in my bed. So in other words, as I woke up, I was fast forwarding 40 years to today, and that plays with you psychologically. And as I woke up, fast forward in 40 years, I woke up with tears under. I was actually gently crying, thinking about when I did watch him go up that hill. And yeah, it brought tears to my eyes. I wasn't bawling, but as I woke up in bed, I actually was crying because I'm thinking back 40 years ago. And I still that fond memory of watching this tractor go up that hill to his garden. I sure miss them.